Airport security. Homeland Security's own inspectors were able to get illegal items through TSA checkpoints 70% of the time. What is just a placebo effect but most people don't realize? How's it going, my viewer? Ready for another story time, my dude? Great, get your popcorn and strap in because this one is going to get good. Since you're already here, why don't you do your boy Andrew a favor and hit that subscribe button, or at least like the video. And if you do, I'll give you access to Belle Delphine's OnlyFans. Enough BS, let's get into these juicy stories. MLMs. People feel successful when in fact they're losing money. Beats headphones have weights inside them to make them heavier and give the illusion of quality and sturdiness. When my cat wants fresh food, but he still has some in his bowl, I pretend to put more in there. He usually falls for it. Vicks Vapor Rub doesn't actually do anything for your sinuses. It's a placebo effect. It does, however, help reduce migraine pain and to reduce swelling. That's actually what it was originally marketed for migraines. That minty fresh, zesty clean feeling you get from toothpaste. It started as a marketing strategy and caught on, and now almost all toothpaste is mint because we associate the minty freshness with cleanliness. As a former lifeguard, I can assure you that whatever cleanup you see lifeguards doing after someone vomits in the pool is almost certainly just show. There isn't really anything you can do, you just let the filter chlorine take care of it and pretend to clean to please the suburban moms. When cake mixes first came out, you only had to add water to them, but too many housewives felt like that was cheating and wouldn't buy cake mixes. So the cake mix companies added another step. The eggs. It worked, apparently the cracking and adding of the eggs to the batter was enough to make it feel more homemade, and cake mixes became extremely popular. I'm not sure if it still does this, but at one time Google Docs intercepted the Ctrl+S shortcut and briefly changed the cursor to the thinking cursor, Hergless, beach ball, whatever your computer does. You don't need to save your Google Docs. They save every tiny change on the server. But people are used to doing it. Turkey doesn't have enough tryptophan to make you sleepy. You're most likely sleepy cause you ate too much and your body's in rest and digest mode. Edit to add. It's a placebo when you eat a meal that includes turkey and say you're tired but eat a meal of the same calories and conditions with chicken instead and you don't feel tired. It's conditioned into American culture because of overeating at American Thanksgiving. How long it takes a Coinstar to process and count coins and return a receipt. It finishes quickly. So quickly that folks are skeptical of the accuracy. So a fake delay, with fake counting noises, was built in giving folks more confidence in the results. As an IT person, giving a user a new monitor will make them swear their computer is faster. Edit. Wow, this blew up. This is by far my highest rated comment in existence. I haven't worked tech support for over a decade, so my comment comes from a time in the late 90s when users were using Compaq iPac mini towers and just couldn't get over the switch from CRT to LCD monitors. And holy cow, the switch from 4.3 to 16.9 was life-changing. Sadly, this observation has nothing to do with refresh rate, as that's a modern consideration we didn't have the luxury of back in the old days. I worked at a kid's birthday party place for a couple years in high school. So many kids would cry because they fell over, bumped their arm, etc. Never anything bad. I'd say something like, "Can you shake your foot around? Does it feel better? How about jumping in a circle? Alright, we are going to blow on your hand so it feels better, and then ask if they are ready to play again." Works like a charm. Also bandages for little boo-boos. They think they are healed and get right back to being happy little kiddos. I install commercial audio-video systems. On bigger, more involved jobs like stadiums and arenas, we have AV consultants who don't work for my company but are a big link in the chain as far as designing and eking the finished system. I don't know how many times I've been up in a 80 boom lift and they want the azimuth or down angle of a speaker adjusted by some ridiculously small amount. So you get back up there, bang a couple wrenches on the speaker, and don't actually move crap. How's that? Oh yeah. That sounds better. Works every goddamn time. The exaggerated sounds of some vacuum cleaners, microwaves and cars to make them sound powerful. The loading screens on some apps that make it seem like they are doing something complex. I once spoke to a guy involved in developing the first ATM cash machines. Early trials showed that users thought that the dispensing of cash happened too fast and didn't trust that it had correctly debited their account for the right amount. So they inserted a wait cycle to make it appear that the machine was counting the cash. That wait cycle is still there today in most machines. Edit. Woke up to 1 billion replies telling me that the acronym ATM contains the word machine. I know this, but I included both ATM and cash machine for those parts of the world where we don't really use the term ATM. When I worked train tech support, our agents would always get pushback from customers when we asked them to power cycle their phone, which 9 times out of 10 would fix their issue. So, I had them tell the customer to read them some numbers off the back of the battery when they were still removable that we absolutely did not need. Then we told them we refreshed a few systems and they put their battery back in and it's all fixed. Alternatively, when batteries couldn't be removed, we'd tell them that if the phone was powered on while we did the update, it could ruin their SIM card. So they'd make sure to power off their phone. I'd do nothing. They'd turn it back on and it worked great. But if I had told them to power cycle their phones? No way. Bubbles in cleaning products. Early formulations of soap way back when used to naturally form suds. Newer formulations can clean better but don't naturally produce suds, as the bubbling was an incidental side effect that doesn't actually have any bearing on cleaning. When these newer soaps were first introduced, people complained they didn't work because they didn't make loads of bubbles. So the manufacturers started adding a chemical solely to generate bubbles that didn't actually help with the cleaning at all, and all the complaints stopped. To this day, the association of bubbles equals clean is strong enough that they still do it. Basically all cleaning products, including toothpaste, foam up when used, and almost without exception, the foam is 100% marketing. Astronomer here. Police and hospital workers may swear otherwise and always argue when I say this, but despite numerous studies, no significant correlation has been found between more crazy behavior and the full moon. People just tend to notice when there's a full moon and it's a particularly busy night is all. After all, you're not going to note the phase of the moon when it's a new moon and thus literally no moon in the sky to note. Edit. Wow, a lot of people really don't like this one. But for those arguing the moon's gravity is to blame. The force of the moon pulling on you is far less than the pull from any person standing next to you. Like for those arguing the full moon makes your water break, the doctor standing next to you has more of a pull on you than the moon. Tides only work for water because of the vast scales involved, and your body is insignificant compared to an ocean. Homeopathy. My mum is a homeopath, and I don't subscribe to it at all. Please save your judgments, I'm not here to discuss that, but I've seen her help many people with minor to moderate afflictions. While the medicine definitely doesn't work, the patients believe it does. In this, along with the fact that sitting down for an hour with someone who listens to all of your problems and ailments in detail and takes much more interest in their life than a normal GP would, leads to them having belief that they'll get better. My belief is that the psychological help they receive often helps with problems, especially ones that are exacerbated by stress. Also, I'll note that any homeopath who isn't a crappy person does not try to treat mental illness or life-threatening conditions that require real medical care and will tell the patient this. Anything that you think cures hiccups. Ever wonder why there are so many cures out there that people swear by? It's because hiccups often, though not always, have a major psychological component. Your diaphragm spasms for real a few times, but then something in your brain takes over and makes you think, subconsciously, you need to keep doing it so they won't go away. Then someone tells you they know a cure. Since it's coming from your head now, if you believe something will work, it will, and once it works once, you believe it more, and it will be more effective. Doesn't matter what the cure is. It just matters that you believe it will work. This is also why you can have them scared startled out of you. It's actually just a distraction that makes you forget to keep hiccuping. Once you know this, you won't get incurable hiccups anymore. When it happens, it's because there's actually something happening to your diaphragm, but once that's over, they'll just stop. Don't try this approach with other conditions though, please. Most things can be gotten rid of just by believing you don't have them. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.